So, what's going on YouTube? I know it's been a while since I made a video. It's been a little bit over a month. I'm letting y'all down, keeping y'all updated on what's going on here in Germany. But I've been a little bit emotionally distraught because, Breaking Bad is over. And there's no more Walter White. There's no more Heisenberg. No more Jesse. No more Skyler. Definitely no more Hank.
He made up his mind 10 minutes ago. Do what you're gonna do.
So now I'm just stuck with often faint memories of Heisenberg and scenes like this.
I am not in danger, Skyler. I am the danger.
As well as one of the most depressing endings in all of television history. Yeah. So last we left off, I just got back from Strasbourg France. Since then, a lot of shit has happened. I think about a week later, I went to Cologne, whatever, K-O-L-N, and I went and visited my friends Bree, Nancy, Trez, Alex from Saarbrücken met me up there, and we had a blast. It was fucking awesome. Got to hang out with the rest of the PPPers at the at their location in Köln. Yeah. So we also got to see one of the oldest roads in all of Germany and probably all of like the western side or eastern side of Europe or whatever. So that was pretty cool too. This is the oldest street in Köln. How old is it, Trez? You know,
It's about 2,000 years old.
It's about 2,000 years old.
The plaquet's over there.
Oh, it's a plaque? Is it downstairs?
Yes.
Woo, we're just gonna guesstimate. It's about 600,000 years old. It's like the first land of dirt on the earth.
First land of dirt.
I had Nancy as my tour guide to see the Köln Dome, and Bree provided a few hey boos along the way. Ha, check it out.
Have some Jaeger. Take a shot.
And our Asian tour guide, hey girl.
Hey boo. Hey boo. The original hey boo.
Tell somebody.
Damn.
Alex Buscaglia. The trip to Köln was one of my favorite, most fun adventures I've probably had since being in Germany. It's like one of the first few times that I've actually been able to actually party, have fun, communicate off Deutsch with other people my age, because the people in Radolfzell, we didn't really talk that much off Deutsch. It was always English. Americans, stay together, whatever. So as you can tell, I was kind of sad about leaving. Vallot. My last day. It's so sad. So the week before I actually left to go to Strasbourg, I stopped by in Stuttgart for just a day, and we ended up going to a flow mart, which is essentially a flea market where everyone just brings all their stuff out, brings all their crap for sale. And I found this interesting little piece where the lady said that it's not that old. Of course it's not racist, because what could possibly be racist about this? And it turns out that it's a piggy bank, or as the back would say, a jolly nigger bank. And the way it works is the nigger bank has an open palm, and you put a coin in, and it's a little lever off to the side, and drops it into his mouth. A little lever off to the side, and you just essentially just push the arm back. Oh, god damn it. It has a little lever off to the side, and you just push the lever and it drops the money into the bank. And these are, I think, probably the first one was made in the 1800s, late 1800s, and it was manufactured and sold. And the lady tried to actually sell this to me for I think she wanted $28 almost 30 euros for this. And we end up talking her down to 20, which is another interesting thing. When you press the lever, his eyes rolls into the back of his head. So, yeah. So, there's that. And the reason I really bought it is not because, oh lordy, I just want to own a nigga bank. Like, no, would you really want this? I wouldn't want any other person to own this other than like someone black. Like, if I went to a white man's home and I saw this shit just sitting there, I'd probably beat his ass with this, pick it up and bash him across the head with this shit. So I essentially bought it so no other white person can own it. Sue me, call me, whatever, don't care. So, the following weekend after Kern, which was the weekend of September 21st, was one of the biggest, largest, most popular, well-known beer festivals in all of Germany. And, of course, America should know it. It's known as Oktoberfest. I probably posted about this on Facebook with all those pictures. I made a blog post about it on Blogger, but I have a hell of a lot of video clips, and I need to get rid of them. So, here you go.
So I'm currently in Munich for Oktoberfest. Woo! It doesn't start till tomorrow though. Yeah. Woo!
I want to start off with we were really excited to get to Oktoberfest, like to get to Munich. It's the first time in München. Me and Justin Chen went via bus. It was only a 3-hour bus ride. Turned into 4 because of traffic and whatever, but it was pretty cool. We took a ferry from Constance across to, I think, near Meersburg or something, and then from Meersburg we just took the bus and drove. The bus drove us all the way straight to München. We arrived around 7:30ish. We met up with our friend Nancy. It took us about an hour to find Nancy because we was lost as shit trying to find out. Apparently the Hauptbahnhof at Munich is ginormous. It has like 4 or 5 underground floors, so you are constantly on an escalator trying to reach the top, reach the surface. So it took us a while to find Nancy. We finally did, and then we did some shopping, basically window shopping, because Justin couldn't find the damn lederhosen to save his life. I don't know why he thought he was gonna find something for like just 70 euros, because little known truth is lederhosen is very expensive. Like, you're talking 200, possibly 300-400 euros. I've seen like a full lederhosen like outfit suit for like 1,300 euros. Like, where are you going with that? Why? So anyway, after that we met up with our person we were staying with. I kind of set up this thing through Airbnb, which is a website where people essentially like rent out their like rooms in their apartments, and they just pretty much just like charge you to stay there. And that was one of our last resorts. So everything else is pretty much booked, so I kind of like snuck and found that, snatched it out the last minute, and we met up with the girl. The girl's room we were staying in, her name is Kathy for short, just call her Kathy. But she was out for the weekend. That's the room we were staying in. Her roommate or flatmate, Tina, is who like we kind of did all the talking, and she gave us the key to the room, blah blah blah, and she was pretty fucking cool. And we ended up having a beer with her that night. Got a drink with her, and she's a teacher. She recently just got to move to Munich like maybe a week ago from, I think, the Lower Saxony area, something like that. And yeah, she decided to go to Oktoberfest with us the next morning. So the next morning we left at like 6:30, 7 a.m. and took the first train straight to the Oktoberfest site. And of course you can see all the clips from that now.
It's pretty cool.
In Munich for Oktoberfest. Trying to find us some beer to drinking.
Hey, boo.
Hey, boo. Tourist action.
So me and Justin, we kind of stood in line and held the place for Tina and Nancy while they ran to the ATM. And we was at the Augustiner tent, which is like this really huge tent, which has some really great ass beer. So we stood in line from like 7:30 till about 9. They didn't start letting anyone in till about 9:15ish, almost 9:30. We actually met a couple Australians in line who were like there just to travel. They've been traveling throughout the entire, like all of Europe for like the past 2 months or so, and Germany, Munich was one of their stops for Oktoberfest. So like within the 2 hours we were standing in line with them, kind of bonded and got cool, and they came and they decided to like sit with us during Oktoberfest activities. It was pretty fucking awesome. So we finally found a table. Now the table was already filled with like 5 or 6 people already, and each table can only hold like maybe 11 max, and there was like 6 of us. So we kind of had to squeeze in there, trying to just like make it work, but we got it to work. So when we sat down, we found out that, seeing that it was the official first day of the festival, we actually had to wait on the mayor to like bust open the tap, and all the festivities and everything to begin. So we had to sit there until noon.
Video. We're here at Oktoberfest.
Hey, boo.
Hey, Tina. Okay, so the lady's like leaving. We can just let her know. It's like, oh god. And we have the Australians. Hi, Australians. Crikey.
Hello, crikey, mate.
Put the Barbie on the barbecue.
So we couldn't drink anything until noon. We ended up ordering Weisswurst, which is just like white bratwurst, which is white bratwurst with like the honey Zinf. It's like sweet mustard, Süß Zinf. I'm sorry, Süß Zinf. And sat, chat, talked, kind of talked about differences between Germany and America and Australia, and I kind of had like a really big typical American moment, because when do you often get to meet just Australians out the blue? And of course, maybe I might be the only one that know about this. I'm not sure, but none of my friends seem to like know about the whole Dingo ate your baby. I'll just leave a link to the story at the bottom. But long story short, a lady was in the outback in Australia, like in the early 90s, late 80s, and she was camping in the outback with her baby in the tent, and she was saying that at one night a dingo came in and like took her baby, snatched him out the tent, and like ran off into the fucking wilderness with him, and he went missing like ever since then. He's just like, oh, the dingo ate my baby. He killed my little baby. And the whole thing about it is no one can prove it or disprove it, because I mean, dingoes are fucking wild out there. Everything's wild in the outback. Even koala bears is what I found out, that koala bears aren't so sweet unless you put Vegemite or ketchup or something on them, because apparently you don't put a shrimp on the barbie, you put the koala bear on the barbie, or a kangaroo on the barbie. Oh well. So yeah, I kind of had like an epiphany, just like I've always wanted to do this with an Australian, and now I have my chance. Like I've always wanted to recreate this scene.
Going upstairs. Tell my fiancé I'm looking for him. I have lost my fiancé, the poor baby.
Maybe the dingo ate your baby.
What?
The dingo ate your baby.
And I got the chance to. Yeah.
The dingo ate your baby.
You're so
Cross that off the bucket list, the checklist, whatever. After connecting, getting our stories done, after the parade actually started, people started getting all excited, music playing. You see this big band and orchestra just like coming in with like flags and banners, and it was awesome. Like a few minutes later, we all start getting riled up and just like, yes, it's time to order our fucking beer. Now, I'm not a big beer drinker, like, at all, but I figure, like, it's Oktoberfest. That's the one place, if anywhere, you should drink. It should be in Germany at Oktoberfest. One of the biggest, most well-known, famous festivals of the last 100 years. So, yeah. So the lady brought us our beers, and the waitresses for Oktoberfest are very fucking talented. Like, they bring like 10 Mazes at a time, and a Maz is 1 liter of beer. So imagine carrying around 10 to 12 liters of beer all at one time. Like, take a look at this. Oktoberfest was a huge success. It was like fucking everything I wanted it to be, plus more. I got to see a lot of drunk people. I got to be one of those drunk people. And a lot of crazy stuff happened, so it was amazing. Unfortunately, the week after that was like the last week in Radolfzell. So that was my last week of language school. My last week of being like 15 minutes away from the Swiss border. Like, what? Like, delicious, cheap Swiss chocolate for $1.80. You're never gonna see that again. We are here at the fabulous Stein on Rhine on top of the castle, and it looks amazing. Let me zoom out so you can capture this greatness. Yeah. And Batman saves the day. Switzerland. Schweiz. Maybe. So it was last week of language school. Everyone's kind of like jumpy about what's the next phase, because the next phase is university phase, which is, I'm in my dorm now, so there's that. And yeah, we that Friday we all got our certificates saying that we completed our language level. I'm officially certified A2, so mein Deutsch ist ein bisschen besser. So seeing that Friday was our last official day, it was kind of another bummer that I was one of the first ones to have to leave the Radolfzell group, seeing that my professor wanted me, Don, and Ashley to meet at Reutlingen at 6 p.m. on Friday. So luckily class ended at 12:15, so I had to kind of make my goodbyes sort of brief. So my host parents ended up taking me from Radolfzell to Reutlingen, which was pretty awesome because I don't think I would have made it by train. I only live like 2 hours away now from Radolfzell, but I had like 6 bags, and I wasn't able to carry at least more than 3 by myself. So luckily they helped me out with that, and I already told them I'm gonna visit them again next time, probably maybe next month or something. So yeah, they drove me to Reutlingen. We met up with Veit und mein Tutor Jens at the Hauptbahnhof in Reutlingen. Reutlingen is a really cool, small little town. It's kind of like a small college town. It's only about 30-40 minutes away from Stuttgart, which also is a really great city, other than the racist Jolly Niggerbank. But yeah, so yeah, I like it here so far. That first Saturday, which was the 28th, I think, of September, that's when me and Don kind of like toured around the city. We saw another, like, they had like a small little Oktoberfest type thing going on. People was walking around with dirndls and lederhosen, and it was pretty fucking cool. And we also saw like this really huge like tray, like grill of meat just being cooked, and it was like amazing. Like, it looked like heartburn in like physical form. Like, I've never seen like high blood pressure like just laid out in front of me like that. It was oh my goodness. What? The next day we met up with our tutor Jens, who took us around the city to Fulingen, which is a neighboring city of Reutlingen, and is where he stays. And we went to this ice cream shop, and it was delicious. And we also attempted to feed these 2 gigantic swans, and that didn't really go too well. Yeah. Oh, 9. Then Jens tried to, I guess, seduce the swan with some German speaking. I honestly didn't know what he was saying, so yeah, I need to kind of step up on my German language a little bit. Just ein bisschen. Just a little bit.
Vielleicht ist auch Gerda. Sie hat eine Fructoseintoleranz.
The next day was Monday, which apparently was the first official day of classes. Like, what the whole fuck? So we didn't even have no student IDs. We didn't have no registration done. I had no idea about the course schedule because according to our program, we have to take all our courses off Deutsch in German and only one class maybe in English. And we got there Monday, and they just pretty much told us, hey, just go to a class, whatever you feel like going to. But the program we're set up in here at this school is like for all international students. So it's just like, oh, it's gonna be okay. But all of your classes are in English. And I'm just like, no, we ain't really fucking with all English courses. We need like to take the real German classes. Like I'm studying computer science, off Deutsch is informatic. So I need to take like courses that are actually like basic computer science, but in German, compared to basic computer science taught in English. So the first week here was possibly the most stressful week ever, simply because I had no clue what was going on. I had no idea about my classes. I didn't know what to do, how to log in into anything. I felt like I was a freshman all over again, essentially. Plus, like the following day after classes started, the U.S. government shut down. Like, what the whole fuck over Obamacare? Really? Like, y'all been trying to fight Obamacare since like 2009, and y'all really shut down the entire government? You shut down like national parks and museums and all this other stuff like Medicaid, Medicare. I know people that are complaining about food stamps right now, which talk about that later. But yeah, like really, and apparently that also affects like the global economy. So the value of the U.S. dollar could possibly drop, and or that means my money would be worthless if I try to exchange it into euros, like withdraw money from international ATM. So that kind of pissed me off too. As well as Thursday, October 3rd, Thursday, was the return of Scandal. And bitch, that show is everything. Like, I don't care what you have to say. That's like prime time television. Yes. So there's that. With the return of Scandal, my spirits were brightened. So that Friday, which was October 4th, keeping y'all updated on these dates, me, Don, and Ashley, we went to Liechtenstein, which is a Stadt. Not the country Liechtenstein, but Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is like, I guess like 20 minutes away from Reutlingen, and they have this really huge Schloss castle where people like pretty much climb up to the top and like soak in all the beauty and amazingness that is just surrounding the entire city. Just awesome. So we're in Liechtenstein, number 2, the Stadt, not the country. And we have Ashley, Royshak, Rockbach, Roybach. I can get anyone's last name right. Don Noyes, holla at your boy. And turn the damn camera around. Me, hello. So corny. So we're gonna climb all the way up to the top of that. It's going to be awesome. Stay tuned. Climbed all the way from down there. Good now. All right. What did you do with your Friday? I would also like to add that Ashley got our ass lost on the way back down from that castle. So it took us an extra like 30 minutes because we went through like this big, large trench, which later was known as Mufasa's Ravine. And we ended up getting stuck at this like pretty much this gigantic tree was in the way. And the path we was taking was already kind of blocked off, but we went through that shit anyway because curious white people love to do that shit. And I was just following along. Don't get mad at me. So I was just following along. She seemed like she knew where she was going. So yeah, we kind of got halted by this sign in German. It said pretty much, beware, don't go this way. The weather's bad, rocks will slide, you will fucking die. So turn your ass back around. So yeah. And ain't nobody got time to be climbing over trees. And that sign says, Betreten, verboten, Lebensgefahr, infolge Unwetterschäden gesperrt. We made it back down the hill. Yeah. What you do with your Friday, huh? 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 So this week that just passed, it was like my first official week, like actually going to classes, speaking to teachers, getting to know them so I can get my certificate of participation. Und ich habe mit allen meinen Lehrern gesprochen über eine Teilnahmebescheinigung für dieses Semester und alles klar. So, ich muss 4 Teilnahmebescheinigungen haben und ein Kurse für dieses Semester sind Einführung in die Informatik und Informatik 1 und ein Fremdsprachkurs. Es ist ein Deutschkurs A2.2 für Fremdsprach und Computergrafik. So I'm happy about that. So everything is clear with my teachers. They know my purpose of being in their course, all the good stuff. They gave me a buttload of work, homework, and just stuff to I literally have to translate most of this because my Deutsch comprehension, German comprehension is okay, but seeing that I'm taking like informatic classes, it's kind of like an entire list of new vocabulary that I'm so unfamiliar with. So probably going to spend the next few hours translating this and doing some homework, studying, get my skills up. I officially have my student ID now, so I'm official, woo! Which means I can actually log in and check into classes and do the work. I'm excited about that. Yeah. I think the only thing I don't like about my course schedule is that they're long as hell. So my Einführung in die Informatik, which is Introduction to Computer Science, is only once a week. It's Mondays, but it lasts from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's like a triple lecture or something, and there's like 15-minute breaks in between, but still, really? And my Informatic Ions class, it is twice a week, 8 to about 9:30, but we also have like a lab, which is optional for me, but it's on Wednesdays from like 8 to 9:30, or you can go from 9:45 to 11:15. It's like 2 different options. Then my language class, my Deutsch course, A2.2, is 3.5 hours long, which is actually better than when I was in language school because we used to be there from anywhere between 4 and 8 hours a day. So that's always a plus. And computer graphics apparently is a double lecture every Thursday from 9:45 to 11:15, and then 1:45 to 3:15. But I guess that's okay since we get a 45-minute break for lunch. I don't know. Whatever. So tomorrow is the second largest beer festival in all of Germany. It's in Stuttgart, and it is called Vasen, or another name for it is the Cannstatter Volksfest. And it runs from September 27th until October 13th, and it's kind of like a mini Oktoberfest, even though like the output of people, the number of people that arrive are like only less by like 1 million. So this year about 5 or 6 million people showed up to Munich for Oktoberfest, and for the one in Stuttgart it's always around 4 or 5 million people, so expects to be a large crowd. So that's tomorrow. Well, the last day is actually tomorrow, and my university, we have like this special deal going where like the students have an actual entire tent reserved just for them, like 3,000-4,000 people, and the school sells tickets for like 12 euros. And with those 12 euros, you get 2 mazes, which is 2 liters, 2 separate liters of beer, along with something to eat like chicken queso spetzel or some sauerkraut noodling or something. And I'm going to that. That starts at 4 p.m. tomorrow. I'm meeting up with Chelsea, who is another PPPer who's in Biberach, which is like an hour and a half away from here. And I'm also meeting with Colin. And Colin and I forgot where the hell you're placed, and I really don't feel like looking it up. So sorry about that. So it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to end this video here. I have a lot more planned for the rest of the year. More adventures. More places I want to see. Amsterdam, Prague. Go skiing in the Swiss Alps, possibly. Visit London. Just whatever comes my way. I hope I was able to keep you guys entertained and updated on all I've been doing these past 6 weeks or so. Hopefully the next time I make a video, the government won't still be shut down and I won't be like emotionally distraught from next week's episode of Scandal, because Olivia Pope's dad, that motherfucker is the truth.
You have to be what?
Twice.
What?
Twice as good.
Twice as good as them to get half of what they have. Sleeping with that. For God's sake.
But anyway, so yeah, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, you guys, tell your friends, tell everybody. Also follow my blog, martianabroad.blogspot.de. I usually keep that updated possibly like every week or so. And talk to you guys next time. Cheers.